A man sits at the edge of a river. He is lean, his joints intact, his teeth worn but present. He is 43 years old. According to everything you have been taught about ancient life, he should already be dead. For generations, we have accepted a single number as fact, that our ancestors rarely lived past 30. It appears in textbooks. It gets cited in documentaries. It feels true. It isn't. The real story of why people died in the ancient world is far more specific, far more structural, and far more disturbing than a simple number ever captured. To understand what actually killed them, we need to go back to the moment everything changed. Here is what the statistic never tells you. In ancient Rome, Greece, and Egypt, average life expectancy at birth hovered between 20 and 35 years. That number is accurate. The interpretation of it is not. What that figure actually captures is this. In ancient Rome, more than half of all children died before reaching adulthood. One infant death recorded in the data cancels out one adult who lived to 60. The math creates a mirage. A man who dies at age 2 and a man who dies at age 72 produce an average of 37. That average tells you nothing about either life. When researchers remove infant mortality from the equation, when they ask only how long adults lived, the picture shifts completely. Adults who survived to age 20 in ancient Rome could realistically expect to reach their 40s. Some reached their 60s, some reached beyond. Plato died at 80, Democritus at 90, Diogenes at 89. So the question is not, why did people die so young? The real question is, what was killing the children? And the answer reveals something no one expected. For the vast majority of human prehistory, people were hunter-gatherers. They moved. They ate varied diets. They did not live in dense proximity to thousands of other people. Research comparing modern hunter-gatherer populations, once infant mortality is excluded, shows adult lifespans between 70 and 80 years, identical to contemporary industrialized societies. Then something happened. Around 10,000 BC, humans began farming, and within a few thousand years, they began building cities. Both decisions taken together quietly engineered one of the most lethal environments in human history. Farming meant living near standing water. Standing water meant mosquitoes. Mosquitoes carried malaria, a disease Hippocrates, Aristotle, and Homer all described. Some scholars believe malaria contributed to the decline of Greek city-states. Alexander the Great is thought to have died of it. Farming also meant living beside livestock. Livestock carry pathogens. Pathogens jump. Tuberculosis, found in Egyptian mummies dated to 2400 BC, almost certainly crossed from cattle to humans with the advent of agriculture. The farm did not feed humanity into long life. For centuries, it shortened it, but cities made it catastrophic. Rome, at its peak, held nearly 1 million people, a population density the ancient world had never seen. Official Roman infrastructure was remarkable. Aqueducts, sewers, public baths. The Romans understood that clean water mattered. What the official record never mentioned was this. Those same aqueducts delivered water into communal troughs shared by entire neighborhoods. Those troughs sat adjacent to cesspits. The water that entered the city clean did not always remain that way. Infections spread through contaminated food, and water killed thousands of Roman adults every year. The engineering that was meant to save lives was, in part, spreading disease at scale. Ask yourself this, if Rome's famous sanitation was so effective, why did the death rate in Roman cities consistently exceed the birth rate? Why did cities require constant migration of new people simply to maintain their population? The city, for most of human history, was not a refuge. It was a demographic trap. This is not just history. The pattern, dense population, shared infrastructure, rapid disease transmission, did not end with Rome. The 1918 influenza epidemic dropped American life expectancy by 12 years in a single year. COVID-19 demonstrated that urbanized, interconnected populations remain uniquely vulnerable to pathogen spread. The ancient world did not die young because humans were fragile. They died because the systems they built to support civilization, farming, cities, shared water, were also systems for spreading death. Most people who look at ancient life expectancy see a primitive world moving toward progress. The data tells a more complicated story, that progress itself created new ways to die. Now you can see the difference. An ancient man sitting at the edge of a river in 10,000 BC had a reasonable chance of living to 70. The moment his descendants built a city, that chance began to erode. If this story deserved to be uncovered, help us find the next one. Next time, we look at one of the most consequential medical decisions in history, a choice that was supposed to save lives and quietly ended thousands of them instead. The truth is stranger than you think.